Good morning, Boosh. Happy Thanksgiving. Would you like to come out and get a treat? Come on. Come on out. Good morning. Are you coming out? There you are. Hi. How are you? Would you like a pistachio? Then you shall have that. Did you just drop that on my floor? I think you are. I think you're just making me a mess. How do you feel about making me a mess? No, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. You totally did. You totally did. So Bougie is my 2-year-old Quaker parrot. I got him when he was a 2-month-old baby. He got his name because Quaker parrots come in blue and green, with green being the more common color. So I had to pay more to get the blue. So we call this the bougie color. That wasn't very nice, mister. So that is just like he's not like biting to hurt me. He is just letting me know he doesn't want to leave his little stand here. And you notice I didn't pull away. It's one of the common mistakes people make is they pull away when the bird bites, and then that reinforces the biting behavior. So we've had to train ourselves not to pull away, because your survival instinct is when you're getting bit to pull away. But he doesn't try to really hurt me. He doesn't do a bad bite, we have learned. So we just, we listen to his language. If he doesn't want to leave the stand, we don't make him. But yeah, this is Bougie. You'll be seeing a lot of Bougie. We're working on a Bougie cam. If we can figure out the safe way to put a Bougie cam in his cage without him eating it. But happy Thanksgiving, Boosh. Happy Thanksgiving. Do you want to dance? He loves to dance. This is Pip. We got Pip and then we had another cockatiel together when they were babies, and we got them to be friends to our other cockatiel. But then it turned out that Pip here wanted to be a fighter. So Pip now lives in Rachel's room, where he's very spoiled. And when Rachel is home, he gets to come out and play. Pip is a little afraid of the camera, but Pip is learning to talk and bark like a dog. And yes, but he does not like the camera. I'm sorry, Betty. This is Mango. Mango is a lovebird. Sadly, she does live alone currently because we lost her mate recently. Oh, there we go. Let's see. You're a little afraid of the camera, but you're going to let me do it. So she also is in Rachel's room. These are the 2 birds that Rachel is working with currently to come out and be tamed and get more out of cage time. We leave our birds flighted and we try to make their lives as natural as possible, but yet with the safety of a cage when it's needed. Oh yes, and Pip has become her new best friend. They're talking to each other. This is Chicky. Chicky is an albino budgie, or parakeet, more commonly known. And she was a rescue from a pet store where she literally was living on the floor in a disgusting, filthy cage. And we believe she was about a year old when we found her. And so she got brought here. And this is her friend. Hello. This is her friend, JJ, who is a little camera shy. So this is JJ. We got him and his brother Sky several years ago from a situation where they could no longer live. And unfortunately, Sky passed away from fatty liver disease. It's something that happens with birds that predominantly have a seed diet. So we feed all kinds of things. We feed pelleted food. We feed fresh greens and something called chop, which they will get some today. And we feed a mixture of seed because they need seed, but it is not their predominant diet. So we try to keep them as happy and healthy as we can and have them live as long as they can. So this little group over here is not tame at all. We got, actually there was one more. We got 6 parakeets, Gordo the cockatiel, which I'll show you in a moment, and a lovebird, all in a very, very tiny little cage. We rescued them. And, oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm just going to try to show everybody how beautiful you guys are. I know we've got a window behind you. So yes, they're very upset right now. So these guys all live in a very, very big cage. They are all flighted. They have room to fly around in this cage. And they get fed very, very well. And they get lots of love. But these ones are not tame, so they don't get to come out and fly and do fun things like the other birdies. Rachel works with them. She's got a couple of them that will step up. But for the most part, they're living a much better life than they were before. Oh yes, they got their Thanksgiving wheatgrass down here. Now what we do is we get this wheatgrass and then we load it up with seeds and they forage just like they would out in the wild. Hello, Buggy. Now Buggy came with Pip and they came to be friends with Gordo. Hi, you gonna let me look at you through the cage? Well, aren't you special? So we have discovered that Buggy is a girl because Buggy laid eggs this year. And we think that's proud. That's proud. Well, we don't think. We know that that is proud Daddy Gordo over there. So Gordo came in with our parakeets. And I don't know if you can see it, but Gordo has very, very deformed feet because he was being attacked constantly. Something else ate his feet. And this, he's a little bit shy because he's had a rough life, this guy. But apparently he's pretty happy with his girlfriend. We do not let the eggs hatch. We're not breeding birds. But sometimes you just can't stop them from laying the eggs. So we switch out the real eggs for artificial eggs so they stop laying eggs. Otherwise, they'll just keep laying eggs until they have a clutch. But these two, pretty happy couple. And it is breakfast time for Peanut and Ozzy. Both rescues, of course. We got Ozzy when he was a 6-week-old puppy. A homeless woman walked into the store I was working at. She had 6 Chihuahua puppies in a crate. And 5 of them were out, and I heard noises in the back of the crate, and I looked in, and there was this little cowering puppy, and I pulled this one out, and I said, "You need some courage." And then it was like it struck me. His name would be Oz, the great and powerful Oz. So that's Ozzy's story. Ozzy is, wow, are you 5 years old now? I think you're 5 years old now. Peanut came to us as just a stray. She showed up in our yard. In fact, I almost backed out of the driveway, and I'm really good about looking in my mirrors, and there was this little dog right out from my tires. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And she hopped right in the car, and then she hopped into our hearts. And so Peanut has been with us for, oh goodness, Wow, 9 years? 9 years you've been with us. And so we think you're about 12 years old. But we don't know for sure because she was an adult when we got her, but they believed her to be about 3 years old. So she's about 12. She's our old lady of the house. I see I'm going to have to refill that. Yes, indeed. This other one over here is a timed feeder. So there's other portions in there, but instead of just having it out here where they just gorge, it's fed in increments throughout the day. So they can come over here and get a snacky poo. Just better for their little digestive systems. Oh, yes. And they get the bougie filtered water. All right. We have our little morning treat for these guys. Hello, mamas. Oh, yes. And you too. Now, you might wonder, why do you have 3 on this side and only 1 on that side? Well, didn't used to just be 1 on this side. She had a friend, but guinea pigs only live about, on average, about 5 years. And Mocha who was in here, and she was an old girl, and she passed away in her sleep about a year ago. And then we tried to introduce one of these girls, but it did not go well. So yeah, you don't play well with others. You don't play well with others. So you can see they get to talk. They're friends. She's not alone, but she just fights with anybody we try to introduce her to. So she's just kind of spoiled over here by herself. Now, these 3 girls here, I know you see what I have in my hand, don't you? So someone brought these to me, saying they were left in a backyard in the rain. They were hovering under a tree trying to stay warm. So we believe this is a mama, and the other 2 are her babies. Because they were babies and she was an adult, so we're assuming that was the case with these guys. But we've had them now for about, well, let's see, like 2.5 years. 2.5 years. So nobody is a youngster anymore, but they are very, very spoiled. I know a lot of people say that cage is too small. It's actually not. They get time out of the cage. We have a playpen they come out and play with. Trust me, my animals get better care than I give myself. So, yes, would you guys like some parsley? I know, it's coming. So parsley is actually a very natural diuretic. So it is very, very good for aging guinea pigs, rabbits, small critters. Because it keeps their hearts healthy. And as you can see, they really, really love it. Here we go, guys. I'm going to put it out there for you. There we go. Munchy, munchy. So they also get a very high quality pelleted food, and they get Timothy hay stocked into their little feeders here because, believe it or not, guinea pigs are grazers. Much like horses, they like to eat all day, and hay is one of their staples. So Timothy hay, good for them. And then the parsley is just a treat. So Cheeto is our axolotl. He will come over here in a minute because I'm getting ready to feed him. So you'll see there's no sand or gravel. There's a little bit that we had a little planted in there. But for the most part, there's no sand or gravel. That is because it's not really healthy for them, because when they eat, they would ingest that. So this is actually a large sand that they can spit out, but he's perfectly fine not having a substrate down there, which is what you have on the bottom. This, because we don't have sand, is so that bacteria has a place to gather. So you need good bacteria in fresh and salt water, and this just gives it a little spot. It's like its filtration. I don't even know what you call it. What's the technical name? But it gives the bacteria a place to go. Otherwise, it would be free floating in the water and it would be super cloudy, and we don't want that. So, all right, let's feed Cheeto. So Cheeto is eating a little mixture of bloodworms and mysis shrimp, freshwater mysis shrimp, because Cheeto is a freshwater animal. They're actually like a salamander that never matures to be a land animal. They spend their entire life in the water. They're kind of fun. On to our morning feeding routine with the aquariums. This is what is known as the reef tank. And in the reef tank, we have small fish and a lot of corals. So this is my garden. I just absolutely love growing, cultivating all of these little creatures that are corals. And there's all different kinds we have. This is called a flower pot. These are called mushrooms. Let's see, that's an acan. Actually, that might be like a brain coral, and that's the acan. I'm still learning the names. That's called a hairy mushroom. Let's see, that's a hammer. Oh, we've got Duncan in the back. Duncan has had his own, or their own, because it's a family of Duncan corals. They had their own video where we had to rescue Duncan out of one of the other tanks because one of the fish was nibbling. But if you watch that video, then you can see where little Duncans are growing back and very, very happy now. Let's see. I don't remember the names of half of these corals. I'm still learning. I just know that I love how they look and I love growing them. Oh, yes. And, this is the original clam. This is Chowder. He was named by viewers. Who am I to judge? This one doesn't have a name yet, so we need a name for the big clam. You can see the size difference there. I believe there are two different species of clams. This is, of course, Bougie Blue. You know why I picked that one out. Oh, yeah, and we have a starfish now. We will call it a starfish. You might call it a sea star. Oh yes, this is Obi-Wan the Goby. You might remember him from previous videos. I know those of you who know aquariums know what all those little red kind of dots in the sand are. Those are called flatworms. They are a pest. We have a particular fish in here whose job is to get those under control, and he's doing a really good job. They were a lot worse. There he is. See the little 6-line wrasse there? That is his main diet. So he is busy trying to get those flatworms under control, and he's doing a great job. He's actually doing a really good job. We've got feather dusters. This is our newest feather duster edition. They are little worms. It is a worm that builds this tube, and then they stick their feathers out to filter feed. They have come out of their tubes before. I have seen what they look like. They look like a little grub. They're not supposed to come out, though. When they come out, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. But without further ado, let's get these guys fed. What we call our predator tank. These are all they are very voracious eaters. So that is a panther or leopard grouper right there in the front. He was a little tiny baby when we got him. The sailfin tang is going right behind him right now. Of course, you recognize the clownfish. Those are cinnamon clowns, and they are a husband and wife. And they each have their own anemone to live in and take care of. Oops, up there, I don't know if you can see him, skirting around up in that little area right there. That is our little flame hawk. He is our little guy. Oop, where'd he go? He's waiting for dinner to come in because I have opened the lids and they know it's coming. There he is. Hello. Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much. All right, there he goes. He's just waiting. He's just waiting. The funny looking little guy, right, oops, he just went off camera. He's come, there he is, he's just back. That is, this little guy right here, that is a huma trigger. And we do have a pink tail trigger in here that is kind of in intensive care. He's in the back, which is going to make him very, very difficult to feed. He's got a swim bladder issue and he can't swim. So I literally have to put food right in front of his face. You can see the little rabbit fish. He's an orange spotted rabbit fish. He is peeking through right underneath the anemones. There he is. Oh, and the tang just chased him away because they all know it's feeding time and they're going to be vying for position. So I'm going to get these guys fed first. Oh yes, there's an eel in here too. She'll come out as soon as she smells food as well, and we will give her a clam. But let's get these guys fed and see if we can get our little pink tail to come out and get fed as well. This is the newest group of creatures. This tank had to sit empty for 2.5 months because we were getting rid of some issues that we had previously. And then what happened was I put fish in here and we got a hair algae problem, as you can see, if you are a aquarium connoisseur. So we are, I believe in taking care of things naturally. So we are working on this with what we call cleanup crew, urchins, snails. We got some tangs that eat it as well. So let me introduce you. This is our flagfin angelfish. Yes, and he is quite a lovely fella. I'm sorry for the glare. Let me try to take this camera off of here. Stand by. All right, so he's gonna probably want to come up and fight with the camera. He's quite an aggressive fish, we have found, but he's so beautiful. We're a little forgiving. So he is absolutely gorgeous. He's got blue lips. We love him. He eats everything. That is a Niger trigger, this little guy who's got a little bit of an iridescent blue tinge to him, which is, camera's not showing it real good, but we love him. Oh, hello. This is a lieutenant tang, and they're all coming over here because this is the feeding side of things. So he's waiting to be fed. Let's see, who else do we have? Yes, we got this little cleaner wrasse. Now, these might look familiar. They're the kind you kind of see, they eat parasites and things off of other fish. So we got him here as a preventative kind of a dude. Oh yeah, there's that 6-line wrasse that we have in the other tank. He is also in here to take care of flatworms. All right, our newest additions to this tank, whoop, is the squirrely little guy who just took off running. So I had a couple of fish in my quarantine tank. They got to move over here yesterday, including these. I believe these are Ocellaris clowns. So this would be the male, and then there is a female. We have another paired up husband and wife clownfish. There is the female. The females are bigger and they're not as attractive. I'm sorry, Mama. I just gotta say it like it is. They look a little lumpy, if you ask me, but there they are together, so you can compare. The females are always bigger and more dominant. Let's see. Oh gosh, my favorite dude in this whole tank. Where is he hiding today? Where is he? Let's find. Oh well, we've got this guy. He's a diamond goby, but that's not who I was looking for. I am looking for, he's hiding. Oh, I see his tail. I see him. I think he's under here. Oh, are you hiding under there? My little Fido was his name, and you'll see why his name is Fido as soon as he comes out to play. Here he comes. He knows something's up. Oh, he'll smell the food and come out. Let's just entice him out with some food. He's a shy guy. Oh, and let me stand back so you can see the little bird wrasse. He is a flighty little guy. He is a green bird wrasse, and he's got a beak. He literally has a beak, and he's like one of my most favoriteest new fish. He also just entered the tank yesterday from quarantine, so yay! And you may have spotted this guy. He is what you think he is. He is a molly that you would normally see in freshwater tanks. They can be converted to saltwater fish, and he's in here. Well, he had 3 friends. We had 4. He's the last man standing because they keep disappearing. And but they're there to eat algae as well. Kind of just a cheap little fish that will eat algae and serve a useful purpose in the cycle of life. Fido. He is a dog face puffer. Isn't he amazing? So there won't be any tortoise showings because they are down deep into their burrows and asleep for the winter. So this is Shelly, Tiny, and Bubbles out here. We are making a new habitat ready for an addition that will happen in the spring after brumation. And then Hope and Priscilla are on the porch. They're still small, so they are in what we call a tortoise box, which I'll show you in just a moment. So here's Eilene. She is hunkered down. That is a heater, and she has a very warm and cozy spot for when it is a blustery day. I don't even think she's gonna come out and get her favorite treat, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it right here for her and wish her a happy Thanksgiving. She's actually been trying to dig up her artificial turf here. I'll probably have to like change this out for something else because she is going to keep doing that. But yeah, that's the big girl. She's doing really well. It is really cozy. Can I get in there with you, Eilene? Because that's comfy in there. Can I tickle your foot? Show everybody. Yes, you everybody, you're alive and well. Yes. All right, I'll leave you alone. When you feel like it, you can come get your treat. And some of you may remember if you watch the Niche Lady channel, which is my main channel, I bought this and I was going to put it in one of the other pens, but it actually is a perfect water dish for her because she keeps, we have a leak over here and she keeps trying to drink out of the crack. But that's not good water. So this works good. She doesn't want to work too hard for her water. And as you can see, she's drained this and I got to fill it back up. But it worked perfect and I love it. So this is Hope's little tortoise box. She's over here buried down into the substrate. Substrate is the material that you use on the bottom. Hers is a Coco Noir. So we keep a towel just to keep the extra cold air out and give it a little, if we need to heat it up at all out here, I do have heat lamps still over that I could heat things up if I need to. We want them to stay in like the 50-degree range. That is perfect brumation temperature. Same thing with Priscilla. She is deep in there. I've actually lined hers with straw because she's not as much of like a digger. So Hope buries herself down in the substrate and she kind of stays on the top. So we have, let me see, I'll take a quick peek. Yeah, there she is. She's over there in her corner. She's very happy. See, she even came out of the straw. I'm going to have to add some more in there. But we will monitor the temperatures of the babies especially and get them through the winter. And if it gets like a deep freeze out here, I do have heaters up in this patio area. I could actually raise the temperature under here as needed. So she did come out to enjoy some sunshine. She's actually making her way back to her nice, warm, cozy doghouse. You can see the size difference here. There's Ozzy. There's Eilene. Ozzy's a little terrified of her. For those that don't know the story of Eilene, there is a separate video showing when she came to us. She came here to us from Casa Grande, Arizona, from the rescue that is near and dear to my heart, that has really mentored me and helped me learn so much about caring for these beautiful animals. That is the Menagerie Turtle and Tortoise Rescue. And they are a nonprofit, and they work very, very, very hard to save all these beautiful, beautiful animals. And you can see Eilene only has one front leg, and that is because she had a little encounter with some patio furniture earlier in her life that caused her to need a leg amputated. So if you have one of these big, beautiful creatures, please keep an eye on them. They can get into trouble. Yeah, but she gets around just fine. Yeah, I almost do want to put like some little reinforcement under her shell there, because she does scrape that side a lot, but she's mostly out on the grass, so it's all good. Gotta watch the fingers with this one. And that is the menagerie at the Niche Lady home. Why do we have so many animals? Animals bring us joy, especially rescuing them. Now, we haven't rescued these saltwater fish, obviously. That is genuinely a hobby, but it's like my garden. I'm caring for these creatures that give so much back. There's hard to put words to it. So I'm filming this on Thanksgiving, and I just want to say I'm so thankful that I have the ability to not only take care of all of these amazing creatures, but also bring them to you so you can enjoy them too. Please let me know in the comments which ones you'd like to see more of. We are definitely working on some live aquarium cams, and I'm trying to figure out how to do a bougie cam because I've had a lot of requests for that. But I don't know. Would you guys like an Eilene cam and kind of watch what a big old sulcata tortoise does during the day? I don't know. You let me know down in the comments, and I hope all of you are having an amazing Thanksgiving, and give your creatures a hug too. Bye.